Right, algebraic expressions. Right, okay, basically for algebraic expressions, I'm going to look at a couple of examples. Right, firstly we have, I'm going to give you 2x times y times 6. Okay, the rule when it comes to algebraic expressions is this here. When you're multiplying this, you multiply the numbers together, and when it comes to the letters, if they are not the same, then you just join them together, right, next to each other. So for instance, if you look at this here, it's 2 times 6, you multiply the numbers first. Remember, we deal with something called SNL, which means the sign, the number, and the letter. Right, so you look at signs first as well when you multiply. Right, then you multiply the numbers, then you multiply the letters. Right, this is in terms of multiplication. Okay, so we have 2 times 6 is 12, and we have x times y, and you put it in this order here. So you get 12xy. Right? Our next example will be, for instance, number 2, p times q times minus r. Okay, you have these letters here. Remember, you're multiplying the signs first. So what I normally do is you count the number of minus signs when it comes to multiplication and division. So if it's being multiplied, it's nice to count the number of minus signs. If you get an odd number of minus signs, the answer will be a negative. If you get an even number of minus signs, the answer will be a positive. So p times q times r, and there's one minus sign there, so my answer will be p, q, r. If I use the same example and tell you we have p times minus q times minus r, these three are being multiplied. Remember, we put them together, the letters. Right, so it's p times q times r, but there are two minus signs here, so my answer will be a positive answer, counting the number of minus signs. Right, continuing with number 4, we see here we have a minus and a multiplication. Now you remember that from primary school. Now that you're grade 8, you will use what you remember from primary school. You learned about board mass. Right, board mass, we normally do the multiplication first, so the board mass rule applies. So it will be, our next step will be 4k. Remember, we look at the signs, so it's minus 9k. Now we come to something where these two terms are similar. So it's like basically where we are joining like the same amount of apples together, or bananas, or cars. So you can see that these two are the same, they're identical. So we have to bring them together. So basically what we do is we say 4 minus 9 is minus 5, and the k stays the same. So it's basically saying that these k and k, we just join them together and we still call it k. Right? Number 5, we have 3t minus 4t plus 5t. Here we call this grouping. Now, most of algebraic expression is a mixture of most mathematical principles put together, and which you must use as you see a certain question placed before you. So you must never forget your previous work and rules that they teach you. So we remember that this is called grouping, where we need to put all these like terms together. We call these things like terms. Right, so they're basically identical, so we bring them together. So we look at the numbers. 3 minus 4 is minus 1. Plus 5 is positive 4t. So that's basically what grouping is all about. Number 6, we have, and you need to know this type of rule because it's necessary when it comes to algebraic expressions, but do understand that we are going from the basic to the more difficult. So if you can get the basic right, then you'll always do well with the difficult ones. It's the same principle. Okay, here what we have is, we see that the letters are the same, but then we notice that the order is different. So what you need to do in maths, you need to always rewrite them and restructure them in such a way we all look the same and are in alphabetical order. Right? Generally in maths we use alphabetical order. in which to write something down. And when you write in alphabetical order, you will see whether or not they are identical. So we got 2 ABC minus 3 ABC plus 4 ABC. Now, if you see right in front of us, we have what is known as like terms. So all we do is bring them together. So my answer will be 2 minus 3 is minus 1, plus 4 is plus 3. I don't have to write the plus down. So take it for granted that there's a plus there, and that's my answer, 3ABC. When you look at number 7, we look at these terms here in algebraic expression, and we see that there is grouping that takes place, but there is one difference here. Right. These two are considered as like terms, they are identical, but this term here is not the same as the x cubed. So we will join only this part here. Right, so we have minus, and that will give you minus 3x cubed minus 2x squared. There is nothing more you can do to this answer. Only if there was a multiplication here, then we'll go to another step, but for now, that's as furthest you can go. Here we come to number 8. This here I chose because it is very, very common, even in your exams. You'll always find there will be a minus and a letter. This here means that there is an imaginary 1 bit. And they will always catch you out like this in the examination. So, now if you look at it, we find that these three are like terms. So all we just do is add them up. So we've got minus 3 minus 7 is minus 10. And that will be minus 11b. So this is a very common thing that examiners use to catch you in your paper. Now we come to this here. Basically you need to see that board mass rule applies here. So you need to do this part, and then come to this part here, where you have board mass. So 2 times W is 2W, plus 3 times W is 3W. If you notice that these are now like terms, so then we expect to do a next step, and this will be 5W.